Just wondering what the last couple of days have been like for you.
Yeah, honestly, it's been, spending a lot of time with the guys, honestly. Just soaking up these last few moments together. Every year it's going to be a different team, or next year it's going to be, it'll look different, just like every other year does. So, you spend a lot of time with the guys throughout the year, starting early in training camp, and you put so much time in together. The blood, sweat, tears, it's a real thing. So, just wanted to get more days, with the guys. And obviously, the season ended a lot, sooner than we all expected. So just trying to buy some more time with the guys is really what we've been doing the last couple of days.
Looking back at the game, probably one play you especially want back. I don't know how much that's kept you awake. You also didn't get a ton of touches. Maybe just give us your thoughts on those two things, or whatever else you want to, whatever else has been eating away at you.
Yeah, obviously, I got to be better, and throughout the course of the season too, I try to find ways to be my best, not just on game days, but throughout the weeks. And I do take pride in coming in this building every single day with the right mindset and the right attitude of trying to be the best version I can be, not just for myself, but also for my teammates. So I understand that mistakes will happen throughout the course of the season. Obviously, you want to limit those mistakes in pro football. And yeah, that was costly at a costly time in the game. So it was a great play that was made from that defensive lineman. And yeah, I definitely will be thinking about that for a while. What was your next question to that story?
The other part was about just not getting the ball a lot. Now, of course, the game score had a lot to do with that too. But your thoughts on how that whole thing went?
Yeah, well, I'll say this. We didn't get many opportunities. We didn't get many plays. We didn't stay on the field. Weren't productive on first down. So that is obviously going to limit the amount of opportunities and touches that someone may get. I will say this, though, that I think not just myself, but also the offensive line, I think we've proved what we can do throughout the course of these last number of years here. With when there is touches there and opportunities there, that I do think we can impact the game. And I know the type of player that I am personally. I know that I can impact the game the way I play the game. I can really, make a difference and be there for my team. So, yes, but with how the game played out in Montreal, we didn't have enough opportunities because we didn't have enough plays called, and we didn't stay on the field. We weren't productive enough. So that's unfortunate.
One more, then I'll pass it on. This offense isn't what it used to be, and you could say that maybe with the team in general. I'm just wondering what role that'll play in your decision, what to do, where to play next.
Yeah. I mean, I play this game to win championships. It's why I work, how hard I work. I mean, I put so much into this, and it all starts in the off season for me. I truly attack that like I'm preparing to come in to the locker room on day one to contribute and help a team win a championship. So, I want to put myself in the best situation to win a championship. And we don't know what that's going to look like, what the future is going to look like, how this organization is going to look like moving forward. I do know the type of guys we had in this locker room, though. The level of talent and skill power that we did have, that I've truly thought that we had a good enough team to make it to another Grey Cup. And unfortunately, we didn't. We have extremely high expectations in this locker room, and we fell short of that this year. So we didn't get to our end goal of winning the Grey Cup. And for me personally, I mean, I got a lot of tread left. The arrow's still pointing up. I'm 28 years old, and I got a lot left in me, and I know I can make a massive impact. And I just want to win a championship, and I do believe that we had a roster to go compete for a Grey Cup this year, and we fell short of that.
So you want to come back?
Yeah, I think everyone knows the last number of years here have been amazing. Playing for my hometown, it's been incredible. I have nothing but good things to say about my time here, and would I love to be back? Absolutely. But I think I owe it to myself to, sit down with my agent and OTG Sports and to talk to my family and kind of see what the best scenario and situation is for me. Like I said, I know what I can bring, and I know I'm a caliber player that can help a team win a championship. So I want to put myself in the best situation to win a championship. This is why I play this game. I don't play for none of the awards, any of that stuff. I play to win a Grey Cup. So I'm going to put myself in the best situation. And to answer your question, when I love to be back, I love playing for my hometown. Playing for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers has been a dream come true for myself.
So Brady, what would need to happen for you to feel comfortable that staying with the Bombers is your best chance at winning a championship?
Yeah, I think it all starts with the guys around me. I'm only as good as the guys around me, right? So there's a lot of core pieces that have been here for the last number of years that I think still continue to this day and make an impact on game day. So we don't know what it's going to look like moving forward. There's a lot of free agents. So I think as the months kind of unfold, we'll see who's coming back, who's not going to be brought back. I don't think that's big into the decision. Like I said, I need to know what's around me, and we'll go from there.
Why do you think the offense was what it was this year?
I just think, again, it goes to the expectations that we have in this building. We just didn't live up to those expectations this year. I think, like I said, we had the guys to get it done. I really believe that. But it just didn't work out this year. It just didn't work out this year.
Zach on Sunday was saying that in training camp there was, plays and stuff that you guys were running that you didn't end up running in the season, and just didn't feel like you guys got put on the right path to success, I guess, as an offense. Did you kind of feel that in training camp as well, or just what did you kind of feel throughout the year, I guess?
Yeah, I'll probably just maybe not comment on that. Yeah.
The offensive line, I think every week you talk about how highly you think of that group, obviously. Is it kind of concerning at all that some of those guys are, who knows what's next for Stanley, who'll be 40 next year, Patty, who I think is going to be 37 next year. Like, is that a concern that some of these guys that you love going to war with, their future is kind of uncertain, I guess, in more ways than one?
Yeah, I wish I had those guys when they were 30 or in their 20s, because that's a special group. They played a whole lot of good football, right? And I still think they got some more gas in the tank. I really do believe that. They just bring a really good energy throughout the weeks of being in here, and they play the game the right way. And I think it's important for an offensive line to have veteran leadership like that. So when we're talking about guys like Stanley and Patty, those guys are crucial to all the success that has been built here. I was fortunate enough to come in here right when this team started going on this run for Grey Cups. 2019, my first year going to my first Grey Cup and us winning it. But guys like that have been here before that, helping to build the foundation here. So those guys are extremely important to this, and I think they deserve those conversations to be made, and if they want to come back, I think they should be back. I think those are guys that are very important to this organization.
And to maybe fans or people who are saying that maybe that this is the end of this run, the end of this, this incredible Bombers run that you guys have had, like, what would your response be to that, I guess?
Yeah, I don't think it's the end. I think there's a ton of good football players still here that have a lot more tread on the tires. So I think it's up to the organization of how they want to move forward with the roster. But I do know that we have guys that still want to come back here and play, so the era isn't going to end, because I feel comfortable in the guys that we have, the pieces that we have, that, again, we fell short of our goal this year. We didn't meet the expectations, but I know the guys that we have here, if they want to, if they choose to move in the direction to bring the key pieces back, I think that's a good step in the right direction of, chasing that thing next year.
The meeting that you were in on Sunday, can you say what type of meeting it was and with who?
Yeah, I met with Hogan. I had a very good conversation with him. a very good conversation. Obviously, everyone knows my relationship with him, and good conversation. Also, some tough conversation as well. But I'll leave it at that.
And when you signed your last deal, reports that you took a hometown, discount and you had, larger offers. Are you going into this negotiation a little bit different, that you're open to look at what might be offered to you by other teams?
Yeah, like I said, I have to talk to my team. I got to talk to my agent and my family and kind of see what's best for me moving forward. Like I said, I love playing here. It's been incredible playing for my hometown. But I'm also 28 years old, and I still got a lot more tread on the tires. I got a lot more in me. I look forward to attacking another off season because I think I attack these off seasons better than anyone. And I'm gonna, have a whole new fire, I guess. I know there's still so much more that I can show. So for me, we'll see. We'll kind of see what's best for my future, but I love it here. I truly do. It's been amazing, but you don't know how many years you get to play this game. And when I look at my last 2 seasons under this contract, I think they got everything out of me. I think you look at the last 2 years, the numbers are pretty much identical when it comes to yards. And that's what I do. I'm productive, and it's because of the guys I have around me. So we're gonna have to have a conversation and kind of see what this is gonna look like next year. But you talked about the hometown discount, and yeah, I think everyone knows that. I think there are some big suitors out there when I did my deal a few years ago. And yeah, this is where I wanted to be, right? But understanding that I don't know how many more years I have to play this game. I still know I have some time, but we'll see, right? So I think I owe it to myself to capitalize on that because I've earned that. I work my butt off to put myself in that position to kind of get what I deserve.
Will you be, representing the team at any Grey Cup events and, like going to the awards for Trey? Yeah,
we'll see what the league needs from me during Grey Cup week. I haven't really had those conversations yet. I know there's kind of one little appearance that the league wants me to do, but when it comes to Trey, regarding Trey, I just want to speak on his season. What a stud! I've gotten to know him pretty well throughout the course of this season, and just a fiery competitor, and really put us in some great positions this season. Just remarkable to have a young guy like that step in and to play such a vital role for his team. So, where I'm already actually been chatting with him too. I got to get him a fit for the awards show. He says he doesn't like to wear suits, but I'm like, I think you may need to wear one this time, Trey. So, we're working on it to get him an outfit for the awards because I really do think he's going to take home a double-double, and I want to be there for him and support him any way that I can.
I was going to say, you set him up with 2 outfits, one for each award.
Yeah, no doubt. He's a special player, which I think he deserves 2 special outfits,
What was the year like working with Jason Hogan in his OC role now?
Yeah, and I talked to Jay about this. It felt different for me. Obviously, I didn't get to spend as much time as I'd liked. I mean, that guy had a lot going on, and we all know he's a rookie OC, right? And there's going to be growing pains throughout the season, and he obviously had to manage a lot more now than just myself and the running backs. A very small room to a very large room now with the entire offense as a whole. So yeah, we had a conversation. We all know how vital he was to my success before the season, but the last number of seasons. And I just wish you got to spend more time with him. I mean, continue to still develop me and coach me and be critical on my gameplay. Because I think that's what got me to where I am today when I worked with Hogan. So that's what I had to say to him. I wish I had more opportunity to work with you, but he had his hands full. Obviously, we know this offense didn't live up to our standards of being an explosive offense that wins a lot of football games. We all know that. We didn't do that. So we also had that conversation as well. And like I said, the conversation I had with Jay was a good one. It was some tough moments in there, but a lot of great moments as well. I still have a lot of respect for him and love for him, and that will never change.
The offense this year scored about as many points as it did last year. Did it feel the same? Did it feel different?
Yeah, it felt different. Yeah, it didn't feel like we scored the same amount of points last year compared to this season. Yeah, it felt different. I think the thought comes to my mind is that Hamilton game. You know, we looked like that Bomber offense, but I just don't think we had many of those games this year. You know, there was lots of tight games, gritty wins, gritty performances. You know, we kept them close. But of course, as an offense, you want to go out there and you want to be dominant. You want to go out there and score points and help your team win games, and we didn't do enough of that this year.
Sounds like you and Jason have a kind of relationship where you can be tough on each other. You can critique and, challenge and stuff like that. So I don't think this is an unfair question then, given that. In retrospect, was hiring him as the OC a mistake? You don't need to if you don't want to. But you never need to.
Yeah, I don't think it was a mistake. I think, he deserved an opportunity to showcase his abilities. I mean, the guy works extremely hard. He showed that the last number of seasons. So I think that's why he was, deserved or rewarded that opportunity to be an offensive coordinator. And I'll leave it at that.
Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks, guys, for everything. Appreciate it. Thank you.